Latin America, a land alive with color and shadow. Here, high-rise towers stand beside ancient pyramids. Here, neon lights flicker just beyond rainforests and sacred ruins. It's a place where history is never really gone, where the old world and the new world bleed into each other. In Latin America, stories matter. They travel through generations, told over firelight, whispered between walls, painted on clay and skin. Today, even in bustling cities, ancient rituals survive. You can buy a cell phone and a healing spell on the same street. Priests walk beside shamans. Faith collides with magic, reason with fear. Yet in the heart of it all, a single shadow slips through time. Feared, respected, mysterious, misunderstood. The Nagual. What is a Nagual? Where does this legend begin? And why, after thousands of years, do people still believe? Join me as we explore the world of Naguals, shapeshifters, sorcerers, spirits, and the humans who cross between. Latin America, long ago. Before the Spanish arrived, this was a continent of empires. Olmecs, Zapotecs, Mixtecs, Maya, Aztecs. These civilizations lived close to the earth. Their worlds were filled with gods, monsters, and unseen spirits. Life, death, and the supernatural were one, woven into every day. The shaman known as Tlamatini, Curandero, or Nagual was the bridge. Healers, seers, keepers of secrets, guardians against evil. Each person, legend says, was born with a tonal, an animal spirit twin. Some believed your tonal decided your fate, but only the rarest, those with true power, could become their animal. These were the Naguals, not simply witches, not just magicians, but living bridges between human and beast. Naguals were central to village life. Ceremonies honored them, dances, chants, sacrifices. Sometimes entire festivals were dedicated to the spirits of the wild. In some villages, Naguals used hallucinogenic plants, peyote, mushrooms, tobacco, to enter trances, speak with gods, travel in dreams. They healed the sick, blessed harvests called rain. They protected children, animals, even the land itself. But there was always fear. Not every Nagual used their gifts for good. A Nagual angered could bring storms, disease, even death. Do you trust your neighbor if he might be a shapeshifter? Stories abound. In Maya regions, the Balam, jaguar shamans, were said to fight evil spirits at night, transforming into great cats. In Guatemala, old women told tales of husbands sneaking out by moonlight, turning into coyotes or wild boars, returning at dawn covered in mud or blood. Some Naguals were said to control weather, summon wind, or speak the language of birds. Others could steal another's tonal, leaving victims sick, lost, or mad. And always, the warning: never cross a Nagual. Never accept a gift from one. Never look into their eyes too long, especially after sunset. With conquest came violence and change. The Spanish conquistadors, armed with steel and faith, feared what they could not understand. Church authorities declared war on witchcraft. Naguals became targets. Priests saw them as rivals. Colonial judges labeled them heretics, enemies of God. Centuries of indigenous wisdom, now painted as evil. New stories spread of Naguals who turned into wolves to attack priests or sent snakes into the beds of soldiers. Villagers learned to keep their beliefs secret or face torture, exile, or death. But legends are stubborn. They survive even under persecution. In some regions, the image of the Nagual shifted. No longer just a healer or wise man, but a figure of dread. The brujo or bruja, the witch, the Nahual, the werewolf, the dog man, the owl woman. Sometimes the only way to explain a strange deaths, lost children, ruined crops, was to blame a Nagual. Court records from the 1700s show trials, confessions, even executions. Yet some secretly continued to honor Naguals. A dual reality, public denial, private belief. Let's walk deeper into the dark. The jaguar shaman of Yucatan. In a tiny Yucatec village, Elders tell of a time when a jaguar began stalking cattle at night. Traps were set, dogs barked. One night, a young man watched. Sure, he saw the beast enter a hut. The next morning, the old healer emerged, his clothes torn, blood on his arms. He never confessed. But after that, no animals vanished, and people left small offerings at his door. The owl women, las lechuzas. Throughout Mexico and the Southwest, people warn of lechuzas, women who become giant owls, shrieking outside windows, peering in with burning eyes. In Monterrey, drivers have reported being chased by a silent, white shape swooping down over highways. In border towns, families hang garlic, knives, or red cloth to keep them away. Some say the lechuza is a wrong soul, others a nagual, half woman, half bird, feeding on fear. The Cadejo, dog demon of Central America. In El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, the legend of the Cadejo lives. A huge black dog, eyes like embers, prowls the night. Some Cadejos protect travelers, scaring off thieves. Others, white-eyed, limp-legged, lead people astray, into ravines or to their deaths. A few believe the Cadejo is the spirit of a Nagual, punished for using power to harm. Travelers still carry charms, salt, or prayer to ward off the dog demon. The witch market of Sonora. In Sonora, Mexico, there's a market known for magic. By day, it's a maze of vendors, herbs, candles, talismans. By night, some say, Naguals gather, trading secrets, selling cures, teaching the next generation. Locals whisper about a woman with eyes like a cat's, or a man whose shadow moves separately from his body. Are these just stories to scare children? Or does the market hide ancient secrets passed down through blood and pact? Even in Mexico City, some taxi drivers swear by sightings. A woman who vanished as a dog ran across the street. A man who healed a broken arm overnight, then disappeared. In Chiapas, night guards refuse to patrol alone. Too many have heard animal cries or found strange footprints around the church at dawn. Internet forums and Facebook groups host thousands of new Nagual stories each year. So, how does the Nagual survive in our world? Folk magic and healers. In small towns, curanderos, folk healers, still claim to know Nagual secrets. They perform limpia, spiritual cleansings, with eggs, herbs, or fire, sometimes invoking animal spirits for protection. Some carry carved jaguar teeth or coyote bones as proof of their lineage. Rituals blend Catholic prayers with pre-Hispanic chants. Ask around in villages, and you'll hear people swear they know a real Nagual, or at least someone who met one. Every year in Oaxaca, a festival called La Noche de Rabanos, the Night of the Radishes, features radish sculptures of legendary creatures, including Naguals. In Chiapas, dancers don jaguar pelts and feathered masks, reenacting ancient battles between shamans and evil spirits. During Day of the Dead, altars often display animal figurines, reminders of the thin line between living, dead, and something else. The Nagual appears in novels, comic books, video games, and movies. In Gabriel Garcia Marquez's magical realism, shapeshifters reflect political change and cultural memory. Carlos Castaneda's books, though controversial, brought the Nagual to global attention, recasting him as a spiritual teacher and dreamwalker. Even in American pop culture, you'll find echoes. TV shows with animal-human transformations, urban fantasy series featuring Mexican witches and jaguar men. Netflix and YouTube have documentaries and short films exploring Nagual legends. In spiritual circles, Nagual sometimes describes a person with heightened awareness, someone able to see beyond the veil. Workshops in Mexico, California, even Europe, teach Nagual wisdom, often blending psychology, meditation, and folk magic. Some urban shamans claim to channel animal spirits, offering guidance and healing for modern problems. Skeptics dismiss it as make-believe. But for believers, the Nagual is proof that magic, true magic, never died. Why do these stories matter? Some scholars say Nagual legends express hidden fears of betrayal, wildness, the unknown. In times of change or crisis, people look for answers, sometimes in monsters. The Nagual is both monster and hero, a mirror for our secret hopes and dreads. Maybe because even today we crave the wild. We fear the neighbor who is different. We long to believe we might transform, escape, become more than human. Nagual stories ask, what's inside us? A healer, or a beast, a protector, or a destroyer? And what happens when the line blurs? Have you ever heard tales like these of shapeshifters, witches, or mysterious neighbors in your own family or town? Do you believe people can really become animals? Or are these stories just a way to explain what we can't understand? Share your thoughts and your own legends in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this journey into the shadowed world of Naguals, like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories from the edge of myth and reality. This is Evergrave. Keep your doors locked, candles burning, eyes on the shadows. And remember, sometimes the oldest monsters are the ones still walking among us.